Suck my dick! What did I do? Take me back!
I'll tell you what happened, Franco. You don't get to get sucked up into heaven because you were being petty. Tom Petty. You may not have invited me to your party, but you're a guest of honor of mine. How fucking crazy is this?
I'm gonna fuck it up anyway.
Oh, it's fine, no worries.
Ryling?
Rynig.
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 Nig. Yeah, it's
Okay.
not the best. It doesn't sound good when you break it down.
It doesn't sound good when you slow it down.
No, it sounds terrible.
Rynig. Okay, there we go. This will help me, okay?
It's a German last name, obviously.
Alright, we're gonna do this again. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Kill of the Week. I'm your host Brandon with my co-host and partner Jill. And today we're sitting with Amy Lynn Reinig, who is an actress with X Night Productions. She's also a hauntress with Eastern State Penitentiary. And she's a writer and filmmaker as well. So Amy, would you say hi to the camera?
Hi, guys. I'm excited. This is awesome.
Cool. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being a part of it with us.
Yes.
So why don't you tell everyone the kill that you picked, why you picked it.
So, it took, I don't know. It popped in my head because I just found it just so unhinged, but it's from the film This Is the End, and it's literally at, like, close to, like, the end of the film where Danny McBride eats, James Franco's face.
All right.
Actually. Just eats his face off.
And you picked it because it was just completely
It was
unhinged.
just so unhinged, and you know, of course, Danny McBride did it. Honestly, you know,
That's fair.
Yeah, and it just made me cackle maniacally, just maniacally cackle the entire time.
I'm gonna do nice. I'm gonna do a couple specs about the movie just to get it out of the way. That the movie was co-directed by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, who obviously everyone knows who Seth Rogen is. Mm-hmm. Some people might not be too familiar with Evan Goldberg, but they also worked together and they put together the show Preacher. That was one of their projects that they put together, which was pretty awesome. The effects crew that was behind it, they had two sets of special effects on this. They had practical effects and some digital effects. K&B effects crew did the practical stuff on set, which was led by Howard Berger, which is really cool because they're known for everything in the fucking 80s. Oh, yeah. So they did like Army of Darkness, they did From Dusk Till Dawn, just every tidbit of that, and just a little bit of self-inflation. We had back in 2020 when we had the pandemic, we did this little kind of like art show, digital art show. And it was a halfway to Halloween stream is what we did. So we had a bunch of like artists come on. We played a couple short films live via YouTube. And I reached out to a bunch of different like horror icons. And Howard Berger responded and he sent us this little video shout out, which was really fucking cool.
And remember to keep supporting the arts and small businesses. It really does make a difference.
The visual effects were done by two different groups that were called Colorworks and Modus Effects. So, yeah, that's the specs. There's too many people that were in those crews to give them all individual credits, but the credit is certainly due from everything from that face ripping scene, ripping the fucking nose off.
Just the whole nose clean off. Yeah. And then the rest of the face. It was just beautiful. I loved it.
I will say I do love when McBride rips it off. This is fucking crazy, and he's just shaking the nose.
He's like, this is crazy.
The most genuine I've ever seen Danny McBride be is
absolutely
just doing that. Yeah. So some of the research that I was doing, that there was actually like it was meant to be a much longer cannibal scene. Yeah. And like Emma Watson was supposed to be a part of it. Yep. And she like agreed to do it. She read the script and everything like that. And I think by the time it came to shooting it was just too much. And she left. Like she left midday. Yep. And Evan Goldberg said in an interview, it's like, oh, you know, like there was really no hard feelings. I think it was just too much. she came back the next day, said her goodbyes and this and that, and actually went on to like promote that she was in the movie and promote the film.
Right.
And there was another part with Channing Tatum where he was going to be like drinking the blood of James Franco from his foot, like just fucking drinking
That
out
would
of
be
it.
great.
But they did a test screening, and I wrote it down. The test audience, who are fucking lame, unanimously decided that it was disgusting.
I mean, that's the point.
That's
Yeah,
come on.
It's because he's too pretty.
that's what it is. Magic Mike.
But the fact that he actually did it, like that's like the big thing, and and he agreed to be a gimp too. First of all,
Exactly.
They don't worried about that.
Oh, yeah,
the
I
foot
know.
was too far.
Yeah.
I don't think they
so.
understood the first part.
Yeah.
They're still riding that Magic Mike coattail. So
Oh God.
like him as like Danny McBride's ass slave was just like
That
just
was
perfectly
fine.
fine.
That was completely
But
fine.
but the foot, no, we can't have that.
no one is like a foot fetisher, I guess.
Maybe they
you know.
did, and they just didn't want to
I
fucking
don't know.
talk about it.
They want our audience to break into
Because
it.
you gotta
But
think.
in Tarantino
Yeah.
style.
Because you gotta think, this movie came out, what was it, like 2014?
2013.
2013?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess like it
It's
was
like a summer blockbuster.
yeah, it was like the prime of all of those actors.
Yes.
And getting them all in like one place was such a huge deal, like Marvel before Marvel type deal, crossover cinematic shit. So it was really cool. I'm segueing now. It was really cool to kind of see all these people in there.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of fun. Like, what would you say, aside from the core group of people, was your favorite cameo, like celebrity cameo from that?
Michael Cera, hands down. Also another best kill. Also.
Oh, the
Oh,
pole,
with
the pole
pole.
impalement.
But then he
My
was like
fucking phone.
yelling, "My phone! Someone stole my phone!" And then like he's like pulled up, and then it's like that's embarrassing. Like this is iconic. Just and he was just so out of character just for him. Like, and I just thought that was just perfect.
What would you say yours is?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember. There were so many goddamn people in
So
it.
many.
Yeah.
That at the time I was like, oh my god, there's so many people, and then I can't even remember who the hell was in it. There were so because they flung in so fast in the party scene
Oh yeah. It was
that
just
you
everybody.
see so many that I need to go back and like pay attention to all of them.
Yeah.
And like I'm never good with names, but they all use their full names for
Oh,
every
Yeah.
single person.
Yep.
So like I know all of them, and I'm like, I know that guy's face, and then every single one of them, and I'm like, I don't know who the hell I just watched because there were so many shoved together in such a quick moment.
Yep.
That I can't even tell you who the hell I just saw.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my
Like,
I
who was
don't,
the one that was that filmed the volcano? That
The-
was like, my whole weight.
that,
Who was
that's
that
what I was
guy?
about to say, because
Yeah,
that was my
that guy,
favorite
whoever
one.
the fuck
I
that
don't know
was.
his name.
Aziz
No, not Aziz Ansari. No, it was the dude who played Aziz Ansari was
Oh
great
my
because just Kevin Hart kicking him in the
Oh
face.
my gosh, yeah.
But no, it was fucking the Santa Claus, Bernard.
That was
Bernard
my
from the
favorite.
Santa
Oh my
Claus.
That's what
I
I was
totally
That's what I was
forget
thinking
his name.
about,
He was
yeah.
awesome.
He's like, can you hold my whole weight with your one arm? I can do it. Just do it.
My whole weight. Because they had so many people in the party scene that you just see them all in the
Yeah.
background and happening. I think like Will Ferrell was in it. Like there's so many fucking people that popped up.
Like,
And then it's like, but he at least had like a slightly longer scene to like
Yeah.
remember that he's in it.
He did, and we also recently,
Yeah.
like obviously with the holiday season just passing, we watched the Santa Claus,
Oh, right.
and we just watched that other one, 10 Things I
Wow.
Hate About
Say,
You.
oh, that other
Yeah.
movie. Wow.
We recently watched 10 Things I Hate About You, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
in
He's
that.
just in everything.
So like seeing him in this, I was like, oh, this guy, I can't escape him for 2 fucking months because he just keeps popping up now.
Right. And speaking of cameos, Rihanna won an award for being like the best one.
Oh my god,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I
So
have a note of Brandon's
yeah, we
argument
have a
for
note
that.
about the.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad that you brought that
Yeah.
up because now it won 10 awards.
Yes.
It won a lot. It won a lot of awards.
Yeah.
All of which were basically comedy except for the Rihanna one.
Right.
And the one that really pisses me off is that it won Best Horror Movie.
It's not even.
It's not a horror
It's
movie.
not a horror movie.
It is not.
It's
When you
not.
get that many celebrities involved, it can be whatever you want it to be.
That's true.
It doesn't matter.
Like it
It's
has
just all money at
the-
the end of the
Basically,
day.
yeah.
To be fair, the only like horror scene, the only like scene that was actually kind of scary was Jonah Hill getting possessed.
Yeah.
Like that
Which
was
was
really
awesome.
That was good.
Yeah.
And it was still freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
It was still freaking hilarious.
I'm trying to remember. They stole all the dialogue. Well, not stole, but they used the same dialogue. I want to say from Rosemary's Baby, but like the whole thing, like when the demon's talking.
No, it's The Exorcist.
No, they used
Exorcist?
the The Exorcist as like a guidebook when they were trying to.
Yeah.
Oh,
Power
yeah,
of Christ
yeah.
compels you.
Does it
They're
really?
like, but it,
Yes,
I
it
saw
really
in the
does. It
movie.
really compel me.
Does it really compel me? Because it's not that very
No,
compelling. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I quote this film constantly, and I just don't know why. Like the tidbits are just awesome in it. Yeah.
But no, there was another one that they took the dialogue from.
Yeah.
And I can't remember which one it was, but it was another like possession movie. It was just really fucking funny. But yeah, that's the only horror scene in it.
Yes.
And even as kind of terrifying as the idea was, it lost its horror factor when you saw the silhouette of the dick just like on the wall, the shadow.
Yep.
But I will give them credit because like, yeah, demons aren't wearing anything, so
Exactly.
it would just be like
Just
dicks
a
swinging,
dick.
flagging like
Yeah.
flags flying. It'll be fine. And especially when they had like the huge one, and he's just like
Oh,
walking
and just-
towards
yeah.
them.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's what our original aphasia demon was going to have, like saggy boobs.
Yeah,
Until we kept,
Nice.
realizing we kept saying he's coming.
we
He's
kept
coming,
saying
and then-
he.
And they had
And-
boobs, and we're like, I guess we should take the boobs. I mean,
I guess.
Yeah, we made a fake chest and everything.
Oh,
well, we
wow.
casted Brandon's chest, and we were gonna add boobs to it. It was.
Oh,
really
nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That was gonna be a thing.
Nah.
And it never
Well, you
happened.
can still use it.
Yeah, we still got the
Yeah,
chest.
you
Yeah.
can still use it.
Yeah.
It'll-
Saggy boobs in the next.
It's sitting
movie.
in
Saggy
Jade's
boobs are coming.
Jade's
Yeah.
studio.
Yep.
One of the other thing the movie did really well was it foreshadowed like everything.
Yes.
Most importantly, the Backstreet.
The Backstreet Boys.
Big,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Like,
That's my favorite.
They were
I
back.
love
it was
so
the
much.
best scene. The ending
were-
just.
It's just so cute. Of course, the Backstreet
Of
Boys are
course.
all in heaven wearing white and being adorable.
Of course.
But like, can we talk about how that's Jay's wish? Like, oh,
Yeah.
like what's your wish in heaven? Like anything?
Yeah, Backstreet
Anything
Boys
in the
is
world, you
great.
get the Backstreet Boys.
You get the
I think it's
Backstreet
great.
Boys.
Hands down. Everybody's wish is that.
But
Seriously.
yeah, but even Franco's death was a foreshadow. 'Cause
Exactly.
They were talking about the ending of Pineapple
Express 2. Yep.
And
Yep. And Danny eats my face because I sacrificed for you, kind of thing. And I'm like, he did, but like,
they had that, and it was
he was being Tom Petty.
being petty.
Tom Petty.
Jesus fucking
Tom
Christ.
Petty.
I will say I really do think the movie depicted everyone perfectly of how they would act in the apocalypse.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like especially when Franco is about to be ascended. Now, granted, they stole that from Constantine.
Yes.
That was a scene lifted from Constantine when he's about to get ascended to heaven. Fuck you, suck my dick, and he doesn't fucking go. And I 100% believe that James Franco will not get into heaven
No,
because.
he's
Fuck
a
James
dick.
Franco, yeah.
Honestly, at this point.
Yep.
But seeing that was pretty wonderful. How that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And just how Craig Robinson had a total like faith like hit of
Yeah.
just like, oh, you believe now and this and that.
Oh, yeah.
When he like saw the demon the first time.
That let's talk about that scream was just intense.
so
It was so good. He's just such a sweet baby boy. I love him.
And he has a towel with his name on it that he carries around the whole time. It's fucking
As
beautiful.
he should.
It's Craig Robinson.
It
He can do
is.
whatever he wants.
Office baby.
Yeah.
He's from The Office. Love it.
I will say my favorite Craig Robinson role is from a movie called The Goods, the used car thing where he's DJ Request.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No-
Yes.
Nobody tells DJ Request what to
Request what
play.
to play.
Best Craig Robinson role
It was
fucking
really,
ever.
and it was like one of like his first like films actually.
Yeah.
So it was just like very early, but still iconic. He just leaves his mark and then he just goes off.
So I mean, I really like the fact that they started the rapture while in a convenience store, just like
Of course.
kind of being like, where are you gonna be when the world ends? In a 7-Eleven.
Of
Like,
course.
okay, cool. And I like, just besides that, the fact that like they get back to the party and no one noticed that anything happened is just like quietly implying that they're all sinners and they're not going to go anywhere. And they didn't even realize it was happening.
Yep.
They had no idea.
Yeah.
And like, versus the convenience store, they're all flying up in the air. And it was like such a subtle thing. I'm like,
Was
I
it
like
pretty
that. That they're just like, what are you talking about? I'm like, huh? They all aren't obviously going anywhere. And it
Exactly.
just plays on to like how great Hollywood is.
Exactly.
And none of them even noticed.
All like
At that
the
point, I'm like,
Coke
well, it's like, what do you
parties.
do when you're like, well, the world's ending, I'm in a 7-Eleven. All right, well, the world ended and I'm still here. Might as well go have fun.
Exactly.
Like, fuck it. At that point.
Daniel Bryan did.
Coke it up,
Yeah.
acid up.
Yeah, well, that's like, I love when they did like every drug possible. And
Yeah.
they made their own movies, and I'm like, that had to just be them fucking around
It was such
by
a good
themselves.
one.
Like, no
of
one,
course.
like they just left them alone in between scenes, and that's what they did.
How can you not?
It was so.
honestly.
It's so much what I hope that they were like, that they just entertained themselves.
Oh,
making
yeah.
their own
Absolutely.
movies. It was perfect. That was my favorite thing. They were so cute.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then the fact that like in Franco's bougie ass fucking house, and he was so worried about the painting.
Paintings.
It's an Obey piece.
Obay's gone.
I mean, I took offense to that. I have two. I'm like, well,
we
you
do
know,
have 2
yeah.
Obey pieces in our
Oh,
apartment.
nice.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Well, I worry, you know, apocalypse or house fire.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what am I grabbing first? You know, obviously the cat.
I was
Otherwise,
gonna say,
like,
yeah,
we
the
have so
cat.
much artwork. I would never want to lose it.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be an
Exactly.
Obey piece.
That's not the first
No.
one I'm going to grab.
No, absolutely not. No.
But
it's been
It's
done.
acknowledging that I have things I like to save. Like
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe not an obey piece, but you know.
No. Oh my gosh.
I don't know, but it did make me want to have water in wine glasses from now on. Just to
Oh,
make
yeah.
everything in
Yeah.
a wine glass is fancier.
Yeah.
Martini glasses.
Some
like,
martini
all this
glasses, yeah,
just
God.
elegant, cute.
It just really made me want to
color.
just do that for everything from now on.
Mm-hmm.
Just feel extra fancy.
Get another drink of fucking water.
Oh my gosh. Also, the scene where the helicopter like crashed into the house, and then it just like
Yeah.
fuck your house, like, into the Obey painting, because of course.
Yeah. It was perfect. It's perfect foreshadowing
Oh my gosh, yeah.
for the end of the fucking Obey piece.
Yes.
But I was also reading, and this just makes me hate him even more so, is that all like the majority of the paintings in that house were painted by James Franco.
Yep.
And I'm like, of course it was, you pretentious douche.
He really is.
See, it's a mixed bag. It's kind of what we always say, of, like, who's saying it or, you know, what's being said. So, like, because it's him, you hate it. But, like, we
True.
also know, like, accessibility. Now,
No,
granted,
I
on
know.
their scale, you can get anyone.
Yeah,
But for
exactly.
us, we're like, you know, here's our friend's painting. Or
Well-
we've used your photos and everything. And we never said that douche.
Well,
guy
yeah,
Brandon.
but that's again, that's accessibility. Like Jim used one of my pictures for his film.
It's just
Yeah,
because
I
you
did.
just hate James Franco.
Yeah, I just hate James Franco, and
I mean, yeah.
it's just kind of where it goes.
I'm not saying I like him. I'm just saying you're just mad at him for some reason.
But like, I also feel like when this movie was coming out, like Franco was like top
Yeah.
tier
A lot of them were.
Franco, and this was like, I think it was this the last movie he did before he started teaching? Like before he started teaching at
I
like
believe
Yale or Harvard?
so.
I don't follow his career.
Yeah.
I honestly after the after the Broadway incident, I kind of stopped.
Oh, I didn't know it was.
Yes.
Broadway.
So what happened was, so he was doing Of Mice and Men, and he met a girl outside of the green room, and then got her, and then like, you know, like signed things, whatever. But then got her number. Turns out she was 16 and kept calling her, texting her, sending things that she didn't even want. She was 16. And that's where I'm like, oh, so you are a piece of shit, kind of thing.
Franco.
And it's a shame because I like this film a lot, but it's a shame that like a lot of the actors that were like top tier in it are just now going pretty much downhill because of all these things that are like coming out now.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Well, it's like an
It's-
entitlement
it's-
at that level
exactly.
of celebrity. They're
Mhm.
entitled to everyone and everything that they want.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's like,
It's
we're-
like fame just got the best of them, and it showed.
Yeah.
I'm
Big-
sure.
big time.
That's because there's some girl that rejected him at one point.
Exactly.
So now he's got to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
the Josh
Yeah.
Whedon syndrome
Yeah.
is what I like to call
Someone
it.
didn't like me, so now
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
gonna go
Like-
Oh, you suck.
Yeah, because like we were talking about this before we started shooting, but like like out of everyone in this film, the only people who I only liked in it was Jay and Craig Robinson. Mm-hmm. Out of the main cast.
Oh yeah.
Out of the main people.
I love Jay.
And it's like
Like,
he's great.
He's
And like don't think Seth Rogen really did anything. He just
No.
kind of he kind of backpedaled and became more of a producer, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool, doing
which
things
is
like The
fine.
Boys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Oh, The Boys is great.
he's a better producer than he is actor.
Yeah.
Although I did
Cute.
I did like him
But
in
he's
this.
good. He's cute.
I liked him in this, and I did not. I really enjoyed his Ninja Turtles movie. Mutant Mayhem, I thought was
Yeah.
wonderful, and I'm really happy that he was Bebop. And I was like, that it fits perfectly. It was a small role, and you did what was necessary for it, and I'll give you credit. I don't give Seth Rogen a lot of credit, so I'll give him that credit.
He just has like a good cartoon voice, I would say. He was also in the Lion King as well.
Oh yeah, he was Pumbaa.
Actually, yes, he was.
Yeah,
I just thought
forgot about
it
that.
fit so well for him.
that
To
movie
be
was
honest, not because he's fat, but no, the film was terrible,
was terrible.
but the casting was on point.
Yeah, no,
Let's
it
put
definitely
that
was.
way. Yeah,
we
the
saw
casting
that.
was good.
We saw that in theaters. Jill's sister drug us to go see it in theaters, and there was literally this moment where me, Jill, and her mom both did one of these to her. Like, really, we're sitting here watching this fucking movie. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, no.
But he did a good job with this co-directing and
Yes,
producing.
absolutely.
Because we also talked about this off camera. But speaking of like the celebrity downfall of the fact that a lot of them did not like each other, especially
No.
Jonah Hill and James Franco.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And they let them riff to each other and talk all the insults that they would hurl at each other. That apparently between Franco and Jonah Hill got too extreme. That Franco had to Seth had to interfere and be like, "You guys are
got
friends. Like, you guys need to chill."
They are not friends, obviously.
No, definitely not.
And also again with the Jay Baruchel and Jonah Hill thing, that was actually true. He could not stand him whatsoever. With them trying to be friends, that was an actual thing.
I did not know.
Yeah, they were improving a lot, but he really meant that. He really can't stand them at all. And I'm like,
At least
I
he's
get it.
honest.
Yeah, he's very
Yeah.
honest. Yeah. You don't want to hide all that.
Oh my
It's
God.
annoying after a while.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I can imagine too, because from what I've heard, I don't work in comedy, but I've always heard that comedy and comedians, it's a very toxic environment of everyone trying to upstage everyone.
Exactly.
No one can ever really be happy for other comedians and things like that. Because it's they may have taken my joke or something like that. It's very defensive. It's a very defensive genre.
It's catty.
Yeah.
It's catty bitches. That's what they are. It's very catty bitches.
And this movie really
no,
brought
I'm
that.
funnier.
The movie definitely brought it out because I did feel
Yeah,
like they
yeah.
were all trying to one up each other
absolutely.
with whatever they were doing. But which is funny because no matter, I can only imagine what the blooper reel was
Oh,
of the shit that they were saying that didn't make it in.
I would love to.
Because whoever had final say on the film, whether it had been Seth and Evan or the studio or whatever, you can say a joke that lands but doesn't land with the director or the studio, and you lost it.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about the entire movie, not just the kill itself,
There's a lot of kills in there that are
there's
actually really good.
so many
So
kills.
many.
But favorite scene overall in the movie. Let's start with Jill because yours is written down.
Oh, yeah, I took notes.
Yeah.
So my favorite scene was towards at the end with Jay going up to heaven, Whitney Houston is blasting, and then they're yelling to each other. Seth is dropping down, going and then up in the air, and the music's getting louder. Everything is bright and happy. They're going up, and it's just fucking beautiful. This little bromance of them screaming.
Take my hand.
And then Whitney Houston, and then they're holding hands and spinning, and I'm just so happy for them.
Yes.
It was just so genuinely adorable, the two of them.
Yeah.
That it made me so happy, and Whitney Houston just added to
Of
it, and they did
course.
such a good job with how the music played out in the scene, and just getting louder and better, and just obnoxious. It made me so happy. And then obviously seeing the Backstreet Boys was just every time it's just I just sat there, I was like, oh my god, it's the Backstreet Boys.
Yes.
It doesn't. It has that effect no matter how old I am.
Oh yeah.
So
Just cheesing fangirl.
we were watching. I was like, it's the Backstreet Boys. I was like, I fucking
Yes.
know they're in the movie. I know this.
I know
I've
that
watched it, and I
dance,
still
too.
freak out every time. I do not care.
That whole dance
They
too.
all
I know
did the
it.
dance, and it
So
was so
great.
cute.
Yes.
Apparently, that scene wasn't supposed to be in the movie.
I'm glad it was.
Yeah, that
it was awesome.
So because they didn't want to show heaven. When they did the test screening, they didn't want to show heaven. It was just going to end with them ascending and then going to the credits, which personally I think still would have worked.
Yeah.
But like the audience was mad because like we want to see the outcome, we want to see what's going on.
Who was there and who is there?
Yeah, exactly. So they're like, okay, let's go back and film a heaven scene, and I think it was Jay who was like, let's call the Backstreet Boys and see if we can get them in this movie.
That idea, like showing heaven or showing celebrities in those spaces is always interesting. Like that's always been my favorite from like Death Becomes Her. Like seeing like the party and you see like Andy Warhol and Marilyn Monroe, and you're like, huh. Like those moments where like these are recognizable faces, so you really can play into heaven and who is there and who's missing.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, like what if you saw Hitler walking by behind the Backstreet
Right,
Boys? It would have been fucking funny.
It's
not appropriate, but funny.
But speaking
in that universe,
speaking of Hitler, that was supposed to be a scene that after
oh shit, I was just making
after the heaven scene and this like that, I think it was going to be like a post-credit scene that it was going to be James Franco, Danny McBride, and Hitler in hell smoking weed.
Oh my god!
And
not doing a little Nicky.
No, they should have.
Oh my god!
They fucking should have. Yeah, that would have been
pineapple up the
great.
ass.
Yeah.
But like Seth Rogen, I think made the call of like, no, this is too far. Like
Even
if we
that
have, that's the line.
That's the line. Okay.
Yeah, that is the line right there. Hitler smoking weed.
Yeah.
And something tells me James Franco would have been like, oh yeah, like I can teach him how to roll a joint, like.
And do like the actual like cross blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A swasta blunt. Oh God, swasta blunt. Sorry. Amy, your favorite scene from the movie?
My favorite scene actually is Danny McBride's intro. Actually,
like when he's at the table,
like in the tub, like peeing on the seat, just going ham, slow mo, washing his feet with the bottles of just taking every single supplies that they had and just cooking it, like slopping it around. It was just fucking iconic. And I'm like, of course he did that. Of course, so unhinged. He was like actually like my favorite character in the entire film because he was just that unhinged. I just could not stop laughing. I just couldn't stop laughing.
It shows a lot of who they would be. Like, who would
exactly,
you be in
and
this
of
moment?
course it was him.
Yeah,
of course he's that guy.
Yeah, it's funny because like they typecasted themselves in this movie.
Oh,
Danny McBride always plays that guy from everything from fucking Hot Rod to Footway of the Fist. He's just that obnoxious asshole. Yeah. And even now with Righteous Gemstones out, of him just being that Pontius fucking dick.
He just has that face.
Yeah, he really
pretty
does.
Much it.
I go to church every goddamn Sunday. Yeah, like he did play that role very fucking well. I do agree. He was perfect.
What was your favorite scene, Brandon?
My favorite scene. Ugh. Honestly, like I'm not really sure. Like the scene that I'm gonna pick is gonna be like, I guess it's multiple scenes, and it's gonna be like not necessarily like the funny stuff or whatever, but I really liked more of like the sappier stuff in this movie.
Oh, okay.
So like I really loved when Seth picks up Jay in the very beginning and they go to Seth's house and he's like, oh my god, it's all my favorite things, like the candy,
really
the video games, and it said Jay and joints, and because like
it was so cute.
Like I really like that because like they've been friends for years, and it's like, oh, this is what I would imagine them doing, and it's like everybody has that friend that it's just like, or friends or whatever, to be like, you guys just know each other so well that like, oh, we're gonna have like a day, like we don't chill anymore, so let's just go all fucking out and we'll do something stupid. And it makes me think of Ryan's bachelor party, where like my one buddy got married, and for his bachelor party we crashed his house with like beer, pizza, and we played Wii. And that's like what we did, because that's like all we used to do growing up. And it made me think of that. I was like, oh, I fucking love that. And then I loved the scene in the grocery store or the 7-Eleven or whatever.
I don't know. I said convenience store. I don't know what the store was.
Oh, you could have just lied to me and said it was 7-Eleven. I would just fucking ran with it.
Sure, 7-Eleven. I don't know.
But
I remember it was a convenience store.
But like when they're in the store and Jay's going off about like just wanting to go back to his house and not do anything and not like see those people, I was like, I love that, because like they were the most human moments in that, because like it was the most relatable that movie could fucking be.
All been there.
Yeah, it's like these are your friends. They're not my friends. They're your friends. I don't want to be here. I just want to go home and smoke and just relax.
Yeah.
And like that, those were the scenes that I really liked, because like they're all comedy. They're all comedic actors, and I really love that. But I love seeing them not be on. I like seeing them kind of be more grounded. And those were my favorite tidbits. And then the whole fucking earthquake happens and shit like that. But yeah, that's what I would have to say is my favorite scenes, were the more human, genuine moments.
Yeah.
We know nothing about fucking boats.
You know nothing about boats.
You know stuff about boats?
I am designing an ark. So,
You're designing an ark?
you know, so read them and weep. I mean, I got all sorts of schematics, and this is a checklist of what I need. Closet door will work as a tremendous deck.
Let me see that shit.
No,
Let me
no.
see it. It's a one-person boat.
It was in case you die.
In case I die? Fuck!
One thing that was really cool and that I didn't know and I haven't seen it yet, this movie was actually based off of a short film that Jay and Seth did called Jay and Seth versus the Apocalypse. And it was about them two basically having their arguments while the end of the world is happening. And it was like a 7-minute short film, which I thought was like really cool, and to see how it kind of like went from one thing to the next.
Just amped up.
Yeah,
cranked
which
it.
I thought was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Oh god.
The effects honestly just went so hard in it, and it didn't even have to, but it just did, and it just worked out really well.
The thing is, I feel like the effects need it to, because
Yeah.
I feel like if you're doing something as huge and iconic, and maybe not iconic, maybe that's not the right word, as the Rapture, you're doing something that is very like, you know, Book of Revelations, like this
true.
huge thing that everyone knows. Like, you kind of need to sell it. Now, granted, like the CG at the time still was kind of in its infancy,
iffy.
but the demons still looked good.
Yeah.
And the practical effects, like we were saying, like when he got his nose ripped
Oh, it was
off,
beautiful.
was done so well. The impalement of Michael Cera was great. Even like
It was so good.
when the one dude, I forget his name, he's a character actor, he's in a bunch of shit. When they were gonna let the guy in the house and he's like sticking his head through the hole and he got his head chopped off.
Oh, that was a good one.
And like the head rolls and like that was great. And the head, honestly, you never see this in a movie, and they did something that you've never seen in anything. When Jonah Hill picks up the head and the blood pours out. Fucking gold.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that, and that's something that you don't think about.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, there'll still be blood kind of like up in there, and you pick it up and it just starts
Still there.
pouring out.
They did that in Tropic Thunder
God.
actually, with like the prop
The-
head. It just
yeah.
picked up and just like all the brains just came out of
right.
it, and then put it on like the gun.
Another
Yeah.
classic Danny
Another
McBride role.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the effects in this movie were great.
We're so good.
Because like that kind of goes back, like going back to the kill itself. Like, now granted, the kill itself is very quick. It's very quick. It's very simple, and it gets the point across.
Yeah.
But it was done so well because of
Yeah.
everything leading up to it.
It was so
great.
like, even just like the skull on like his head and everything, and just like the props and the set with it just kind of made it like a really cool iconic kill, I feel, because of just like how like the set was and like the props and all, you know, it just really blended very nicely into like this juicy, gory masterpiece.
I want to see the progress of Danny McBride becoming
Yes.
their leader. Of like what did he do to
Yeah.
get that point? Like, did he like was Channing Tatum the alpha, and Danny McBride just went up and just like
It's like, you're my bitch now.
just like went into
Yeah.
went full force of like taking
Yeah.
out Channing Tatum, or because like he had like a whole crew of
Yeah.
people, and to be fair, Danny McBride's not exactly a persuasive talker. He's a man of action, so I can only imagine
what he did.
you know, find the biggest person and take them out kind of deal.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, I think
Gorgeous.
like with like, you know, with this we can go into like final thoughts on the kill itself. So like, we know your thoughts.
Yes.
Beautiful, gory
Gory.
masterpiece.
Absolutely.
Like what are your final thoughts on this kill?
I think it was hilarious. I wish it lasted longer, especially hearing all the things that could have happened. I really wish. Now it feels like lackluster, like I'm missing that.
Yeah.
I want it to be more obnoxious. Kinda where I'm at. Like, it's obnoxious. I want it to be more obnoxious.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. I think like I think I want it more but like a hair more. Like what I thought would have been cool. Like I would have loved to have seen Channing Tatum like drinking
That
the
yeah.
foot blood.
Yeah.
Like I could have done like
That's a shame.
I would have liked to have seen Emma Watson come back, and like what would have been cool honestly would have been Emma Watson taking out Danny McBride and like taking over the cannibal crew.
That would have been cool.
Because they had their whole thing of like, oh, you talked about this, and it's like, no, we're talking about not doing that, and like set her off when she was like swinging the axe and everything. Yeah. So I would have liked to have seen.
Imagine she's lost her mind and now she'll.
Exactly.
Because like,
well, it becomes survival mode at that point.
Yes.
And she's already.
But it also goes to think like, what did Hermione do to not go to heaven? Like Emma Watson of all people, like what did she do to not get up there?
Exactly.
Because I know
that could be like a whole prequel. Of,
yeah. What did Emma Watson do?
Well, not just Emma Watson, like all of them. Some of them you could
like,
assume, and some of them you're like, oh, I wonder.
Yeah.
Well, they did have that scene where they kind of talked about, like Craig Robinson said, like that, like he gave that whole thing of like what I don't remember it at all, but he did something to a person and was like, yeah, like I did that shit and I was young and stupid and now I'm paying for it. So like I can only imagine what fucking Emma Watson did. Like what would count as like going to like British hell? Like
what?
Not having manners?
I guess.
It's something like that. Like, oh, you don't like Monty Python? Like,
yeah. You hate the rain? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funnier imagining what did she do than being like getting the answer.
Yeah, true.
To just imagine all the things
she did
good and bad she could have done.
She did like rob them afterwards and everything.
Yeah, but that was like after
before,
the ascension.
But before,
yeah, like I'm really curious about.
She probably did coke at the party and shit, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
Like all those things.
Maybe.
Like they were doing a lot of crap there, so that whole pretty scene was just also unhinged and just like, I'm doing coke.
Yeah.
Blow it in the face. Like okay.
Get that shit in my eye.
It's sippy time.
Yeah. I would like to believe it was a parody of a party, but I really feel like that's probably how that
I feel like that they did that.
Yeah.
I really do.
Cool. So Amy, thank you for joining us and talking. This is the end.
Me. Absolutely.
Yeah. So where can people follow you and your work and what other projects you have going on and coming out?
So a lot of like my Facebook accounts and stuff, I kind of like to keep that private. But you can always follow X Night Productions, which is awesome, which is where I work with Jim Canatelli, and look out for Cinephere. It's going to be our web series, and you can catch the film that I'm writing for it called Shadows. That's going to be filmed in the springtime. So yeah, look out for all that.
Awesome. Jim Canatelli. He's a former guest on the show, good friend of ours as well. I butchered his name on the show.
That's what we practiced today.
Yeah, we did practice. We also have an episode of that show coming out as well. Yeah, ours is called Drag, also being shot in the springtime.
Yep, featuring the coffin
behind us. And where can everyone follow you?
So in addition to making the movies, I also run a bakery called 8213 Desserts, and everything is under that name.
And you can follow me and my bullshit at Jerks Productions, Instagram, Twitter, or X now, whatever the fuck it's called, and Facebook. So you can follow that, and be sure to catch us in 2 weeks for another episode of Kill the Movie.